I did a Dan. Mike's not
Did a
turned on.
Dan.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. So, Espada had a reasonable showing of themselves, more than we expected,
Yeah.
especially the way the second half started.
They didn't even need both pistols. That's the thing. They only needed one.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I thought they were in control at the end of the game. I think it just kind of slipped away from them.
Yep. Sometimes it be like that.
Sometimes it does. Usually it is for the underdogs. Like, that's when things kind of spiral out of control at the late game. So
yeah.
I think they'll be a little bit more prepared on Dust 2. I don't think they were expecting to use Norbert in this matchup. They had that lag out knife round. That's why we were talking for a while. But I don't know. I think they'll be a little bit more prepared, like as far as their T side goes, because their CT side, they were on point. They were hitting all their shots, right? It's their T side that was lacking. They were slow to hit the bomb sites, and I wasn't very inspired. But CT side looked good.
I think the stand-in can sometimes, like if Virtus.Pro have actually done some research, they're trying to counter stuff, the stand-in can be a problem.
Yeah.
Because excuse me.
These pretzels.
Asthma's a pain right now. Because if they're saying, okay, go and deal with this to this guy, it's just a variance that can cause problems for Virtus.Pro. But as we can see, the problems on Pinnacle's side, in their eyes, are definitely with the underdog as the odds continue to rise. Espada will be starting on a CT side of Dust 2, which might be a bad omen as well. We'll have to wait and see.
Ooh, they're going to go with the long control pistol. It's always interesting to see, like what people do on pistol round trying to cross long A. Apparently they're just going to kill Railway cross.
It is really hard in his spot when you've got like 5 players running at you to find those headshots. You can't really peek. This is where you get the damage done. You can see why that cat control comes in handy, and Railway just having position, preventing them from actually getting onto the site itself, and then it all turns around, and there's not a single frag to be seen for Virtus.Pro, and that sucks.
Yeah, that does. And that's the problem with getting out long is T on pistol round. Like, you don't really get anything for it, right? It's so easy as CT to take so many of those shots on the cross and then play a headshot angle like Railway played, where you practically have 100 HP all over again because they can now only headshot you. So it's a very difficult bomb site to take on pistol round football.
They had a P250 on PHR. I don't know if they had more than one P250. Virtus.Pro haven't been shy on getting loads of utility on a T side.
No way.
That's a nice HE. The second HE didn't really hit the spot.
I've never seen a team do that, just like riskily just peek and throw an HE at the corner.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. VP have always had such good strats, like the classic Virtus.Pro team in terms of HE grenades, like on Nuke, the executes where they have double HE.
Can he get to the blue bin?
Oh my god.
So there's some Cirque du Soleil here from Virtus.Pro, but what will it yield them? There could be some support flashbangs for Railway from CT Spawn or from Cat. He will outstay his welcome. I think there's a chance where they could avoid having any losses in this round, but somehow they've lost 3 players with Glocks.
Glock is so good, man. Aren't Glocks just amazing?
I don't know what is going on. Snatchy has 4 Glock kills. What is happening?
All on Snatchy, no less. And he knows now that Norbert's on long because he just got shot in the arse.
It's so hard to know what to do in this spot, though, because you're basically screwed almost no matter what you do is Snatchy's position.
If he gets a Glock ace, because he's got a Glock out. Yeah, Norbert's got a helmet, though.
How do you cross, though?
He doesn't know where he is. Norbert hasn't got to mid in time to see that Snatchy is in his position.
Why are you shooting?
God.
Oh no!
How does he get 4 Glock frags going out long A?
Glocks are too good.
No helmet for Railway. No helmet for Dexter. First 2 to go down, of course.
Jesus.
No helmets.
I mean, it's interesting because they're playing on A. If the T's come from long A, again, even a one shot from a Glock isn't gonna frag you unless they're really close. But when there's that many players there and you're continuing to fight, then you're gonna have issues.
How funny is it, by the way? I mean, I do it. I think everyone does it. That Higlin play where he gets that 1 kill, he runs out of bullets, so he just like turns around and looks at the ground to hide his head. It just looks so ridiculous when you think about it. Just squirming.
Here comes the cat push. So there's not a necessity to go for a push here, but it's going to work out. 4v2 becomes a 4 versus 1. But it's Dust 2. And Snatchy has not. This is where, you can make clutches like this work, especially given what we just saw. think it's not too out of the question. More aggression coming in for Espada. They've got to be really cautious. There shouldn't be a reality where Snatchy can get a bomb plant. But if you give him frags, then obviously that starts to become an option.
So at this point, he knows one's B, that cat guy pushed, and there's a player long. And now he knows one long, one B.
ACHB as well. But Norbert's going to have the jump on this.
That tells him where the player is, though, that trajectory.
Yeah. I don't know that he needed to throw a HE there at all.
That was a nervous HE.
Yeah, because he could be anywhere, and now he can only be in a particular
no.
place. So he's really just given up the information and lost all the element of surprise entirely.
So he knows this
By
player
throwing
was
HE.
long A early round. And now he's going to assume that this guy's flanking because he just crossed and spotted the door.
Oh, no.
This is just... Oh my...
Oh, he still gets it! And that's going to be the quad kill.
Oh.
He teased us for a second. He likes to make it quite dramatic. And yeah, this is not the map where you can give away kills like this.
This is game time right here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that HE is awful.
It is crazy how that HE does give...
Yeah, it's such a
pretty
small
much-
thing that like you would never even
Yeah.
think about if you're like new to the game watching, but there's just no reason for him to throw that.
He doesn't know where you are. You
Yeah.
throw the HE, he knows where you are, especially because of the
I mean, pros knows
trajectory of it.
trajectories of nades so well. Like he definitely knew that guy was playing close right.
Yeah. At that point, he would have heard him run out the door otherwise.
Yeah.
So it's kind of thrown, unbeknownst to him, by the way he threw in every sense of the word. Let's put it that way.
I mean, this round is not for free necessarily. There has been some damage done onto Virtus.Pro. Norbert's taking a peek or two with the Beagle. Does get caught off guard though, so it looks like... Oh my god, the damage is just unreal, isn't it? Railway with that CZ. Higlane with that Scouts. Snacks is close range though, so he should have a really good... Never mind. Never mind.
What were you
Oh
saying?
boy.
I don't know. PHR. It's got all to do here. Oh my god, just crouches underneath the AK fire.
This is getting weird.
This is really weird, isn't it?
I was laughing because on both of these maps, Norberts are standing and they're just like, yeah, go ahead and just play that bomb site all by yourself. We'll just all stack the other site. Good luck, man. Like, who just sends their ringer to B all alone?
Crikey. Well, that's a surprising recovery from Espada after a horrific start on Dust 2. I can't get over that HE. It was very,
On the pistol?
just very amateur hour. No, the one on B, which conceded his position. Kind of bananas to me, but anyway, time to let go of that because now Espada are suddenly in control. I don't know how they won all those duels, but they did. Those young African fibers.
What?
And Puri is ready to take out Snatchy in mid, so it continues.
That's also one of those rounds that if you're a team that's susceptible to tilting, that's definitely a round that tilts you. Like,
Yeah.
if they have any players that are emotionally fragile, losing a round like that is just so frustrating. You run into one player in the B bomb site on an eco round, you kill him without him getting any frags, and you lose.
Traffic jam in window was a catastrophe. Virtus.Pro, and that HE will be... Oh, no, it won't be. Snacks with 1 HP. Man like Norbert. Trying to get there.
That's so comical, isn't it? You can see him trying so hard to make the spray do what he wants. And sometimes the MP9 is just ridiculous at long range as well.
I love the MP9.
It is so it's maybe the most cost-effective gun in the game.
It's just filthy in midair too.
Mm.
It's like the SMG version of the P250.
Yeah.
For what you pay for it versus what you get.
It's a full buy for me. An MP9 is a full buy.
Yeah. It absolutely is. The spots where the swings it gives you in certain positions are so hard to deal with, you get an advantage against an AK.
Yeah. If you know how to use it in a position, then you can prioritize utility and pick up an MP9 over an M4 and no grenades.
Let me ask you guys, are you guys on Team FAMAS or Team Galil?
FAMAS.
I'm on Team FAMAS because I'm not good enough with the Galil spray. That's
Okay,
the problem.
I agree, and
I'm
anyone
not
on
good
the
enough.
opposing team is the enemy. Let's just make that clear.
But I know people say they hate the Galil, but you can't say the Galil's bad. It's like you are bad with the Galil, but everyone's bad with the Galil. That's the thing. Because if you look at the Titan logo, okay, and you flip it in reverse,
Oh,
like
the old
diagonally,
Titan logo argument. I've heard you make this before.
Yeah,
that's
for
the
like
spray.
4 years.
It's upside down in reverse.
Beating
Upside down,
this horse to death.
upside down in reverse is the Titan logo. Is the spray with the Galil, but I just can't kill people with it. I can't spray. I can't spray with people with it, so I have to burst and tap. But I don't even know what the burst. It just doesn't work when I use it. But I admit that I am the issue. There are issues in Virtus.Pro now, 3 versus 5. As they drop from the short position, Snack doesn't see much of anything.
It's not a place you want to fall.
A state
no.
of confusion.
Yikes. Espada looking good so far. Reggie with some damage at the end. Couple kills. Perhaps the best they could have asked for, given how that round went. But man, how hard would you even have to Google at this point to find the Titan logo? It's been a while since they had relevancy in CS:GO.
Well, they don't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was such a nice logo too. Those stickers.
It was cool, yeah. It was cool.
You need to find something else, James, other than the Titan logo. You gotta
That's what it is, though.
we gotta find. Well, how can people relate to
Half
it?
the viewers don't even know what that is.
Yeah, well, it's time to. You got to know your history.
Like Google and just find like the Team Titans logo or something from Cartoon Network, whatever.
Cartoon Network. Didn't have money for luxury channels like that.
Luxury channels.
Oh, I really wanted that to land. Alas, I'll have to make do with these shots instead.
That's the bomb.
You know, I was skeptical when Dust 2 came back into the map pool, but I'm happy it's it. You gotta love Dust 2. It's just fun. It's hard on the CT side though, but it's fun.
Yeah, that's what's surprising. It's actually, when we watched Dust 2 lately, especially at the major, the T halves were unreal. I just felt like every half was like 10+ rounds.
I think before the org changes came in, the org on the B bomb site for CTs was so good at just cutting people down. But now the Krieg has become that, but on the T side, slash if it's picked up on this by the CTs, it's the shredder.
I feel like people around the major figured out how to hit the A bomb site a lot better.
Yeah.
Because before that, I would see so many of these like weird scrimmy B hits where like people would just run through last ticks of the Molotov or just full rush B or mid B splits. I mean, you still always are going to see those rounds, but now you see a lot more A hits sprinkled in as opposed to like, you know, 6 months ago.
And Avangard definitely popularized that, given how their whole game plan revolves around it.
Yeah,
Some teams
exactly.
don't. That's actually why I really like the North American teams, because they don't do it nearly as much.
Yeah.
But it actually kind of annoyed me because for a very long time, like when Dust 2 was being played before, before it was removed, we had all that stuff basically, and it just didn't come back.
It never came back.
No
it was
one,
so weird.
Everyone like forgot how to do the basic set pieces on A. It's really weird. Yeah.
I'll never forget. I can't remember who North was playing in this game, but it was like 12-3 halves, both halves, and both teams just went B every round. I was just like, this is awful CS. Like, what?
Yeah, North play a very strange style.
Battering ram CS on T side.
Yeah, I mean, it was working for both teams. That was like the meta at the time. But what is going on?
Well, this is really critical that VP pick up this round. They've already exhausted almost all their utility, and they don't even have catwalk control. So what is the plan? Are they going to go for this B split? Looks like there might be an option. Leading with the AWP, Espada falling back into the bomb sites. They will have a pretty decent defense of this site, given the fact that Higlane's already in position on CT. That's a nice opener from Dexter as well. And trades come through, but still, it's a good chance. Nice push timing from Higlane. Finds one, slowing the push down. That smoke's going to go away soon. There's the resmoke, though. And Higgin comes pouring up from the back. They're checking for it, though. He's got to get these kills. Instant reload. And he is punished. Now it's up to Railway. 30 seconds to get that bomb planted, and it's on the site, so there we go. Railway is 12 for 2, actually. It's not bad, is it?
Not too shabby. Speaking of CT sides, they're having a great CT side so far. But maybe it goes a little worse here, at least for this round.
Money, though.
Yeah, they've got loads of money. Dexter with over $10,000. So it's on Virtus.Pro to find momentum. These can become expensive pretty quickly. That was a late headshot from Snacks with that spray. Maybe a CT trying to move into punish, but moved
Life
in
of
to
a
get
B
punished.
player. To pray to get to your bomb site alive, and then you die through a smoke. It's just no fun. This is an interesting way to cross.
Norbert's out there. Calls long this time. He's got some friends, some teammates to play off of. Oh, the HE is always going to go well deep for that one, isn't he? Norbert going through the smokes as well. He's mad. He is a crazy man.
That was really risky, and he's dead.
He's a man possessed.
PHR gets his bell rung, but the dangerous grenades have come and gone for the most part. There's a HE, but it's on the B bomb site. Snacks keeping an eye on mid in the meantime. So the CTs will retain control of long, and 3 of these Virtus.Pro players are really low, so it's going to be hard for them to turn this one around because they can't really take fights. They've got to land those fast headshots. Might be too much to ask, but they've got a Snatchy, and we know what he can do alone versus 3 players, so 4v4. Oh, this angle's just bad for Virtus.Pro, I really think.
HE, is it going to come through from Higglane? He's got the HE.
Oh,
Get the HE in there, boy.
Oh my.
Let's go.
Throw it.
Oh, where's the HE
Still
at,
got
though?
one more, right?
PHR's left for 16 HP now. Moving into the mid position, but there's just wild assumptions being
Okay.
made. Where's the communication? It's B, it's B. That's why you don't say it's B. That's why you're specific. That's why you say there's 3 players.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
It's happening
one's
again. This
turning
guy's
around.
an op too.
He's got 22 seconds to do this.
Oh, he's going through the smoke. That's actually genius. Oh, Dexter has the angle. Whew, there was so many things going on in that round. The HE throw was for free, I think, because they knew where he was. He had cover, it's fine.
So that's like Dust 2 Theory 1. I have a question for you. So they get that kill along A, right? So they know it's a 4-on-4, obviously, and they know 2 people are at the B bomb site based on how they crossed early round. We saw that weird cross.
Yeah.
So they know 2 people are B, 2 people are A. Would you regroup with 3 people and go B in that scenario?
Probably not.
I probably wouldn't. I would like to run off cat or something like that in that scenario, because you know one guy has to play long and one guy has to hold cat. You can just flash him off.
Yeah.
It's like a free plan.
That's the default way to play it, especially because they
hit all of the
can
info.
isolate the one player for free, but
Yeah.
they were feeling the B. And the B worked out for them, at least in that occasion. Norbert, here he goes. Now he's on the B side, switching positions. Railway from the back, and through the flame snatch he will go down. So Veggie's last man standing. VP looking pretty flat on their T side so far. Unless something weird happens, which has, there's been a lot of weird things that have been happening. But looks like it will be all under control thanks to Norbert on this B-bomb site. And Espada move up to 8 rounds, and there goes the tactical timeout for Virtus.Pro. They definitely need one because they don't really seem to be getting they don't have a consistent approach here. Their defaults aren't really working out. They're losing too much when they go for long control, and because often they don't even get the position.
I honestly think, like, based on what I've seen so far, Espada's been the better team so far in this series. Right? Like, I think they should have probably stolen that first map based on what we saw. And this is a little bit alarming for VP. I don't know. I haven't really seen anything that tells me they should win this map. I mean, one of these rounds was a Snacks 1-on-4. Right? That was Snacks or Snatchy?
Snatchy.
Snatchy.
Mihu's 0 for 10.
Yeah, this is
0 for 10 on Dust 2.
This is a very
on
flat
the T
show.
side, no less, is bizarre.
The interesting thing is that what I want to see a lot of teams doing is just add the avant-garde defaults to your game plan, because they're so routine. It's not too complicated. Like each role that each player has to play, and even if that's not the main style that you have, it sets you up for either a B split or an A set piece. Pretty guaranteed most of the time. And I think it's, you know, if you look at VP, they're really struggling to win the battles.
Yeah.
So they need to win a tactical battle instead, which again, defaults are, this is the most guaranteed map for a default.
Yeah.
That in the entire map pool.
It looks like they're very, very reliant on taking long A fast.
Yeah.
And they've had no success with it. Like, they at best go 1-for-1 and lose a lot of HP.
Yep.
And here they are. They're gonna try for Snatchy picking the corner. Like, it seems like everything they do revolves around fast stuff on long A.
The other thing too about the long A is that we'll often see like another benefit from the default style is that you can go take long late, and if you do that, it's much easier to take it because it's not going to be 3 players there most of the time. It might often even just be 1.
Dex is in trouble. There's a trade finally. Poirier trying to fall back, but it's a long way from that corner. That's a big headshot from Railway. And then there were 2. Snacks has crept into the B bomb site. There's some concern here. Spotting a player by the window. I think the scope would have been heard. Now what do Espada do? I'm not sure if they've seen a bomb. Actually, I think it was taken out towards shorts earlier on, so they have. But Snatchy's such an issue for them. Now High Lane stuck between a rock and a hard place. Snacks has him contained. He'll create some space for himself, but surely the bomb will be planted in the meantime. Snatchy just looking for a rotation, actually. So focusing on containment. He's got the AK-47 out, then he'll pick up his AWP afterwards. And there is only the 3rd round for Virtus.Pro.
Felt like that was obviously great explosive play from Mihu, but it did feel like Espada maybe felt a bit too confident.
Yeah, I liked the play. I think it was Highland that rotated off of long A. I believe that was him. Or maybe it was Railway. He smoked long A and rotated back to car. Got that frag. The AK running off catwalk. It was a really good read and rotation by him, like mid-round, to leave long A. It's a hard decision to make as that anchor long player.
Okay, so this looks more like we'll see Virtus.Pro go, well, actually go straight out. I think they've run straight out the mid doors, and Railway's there. He's annihilating this push. And Virtus.Pro have got to make some decisions here. You can see they're not going to commit out of the double doors now. They're going to go back. And look at Higlane. He's actually pushed long. They called it was a fast B split, and he's taken a lot of position towards the tunnels. But Virtus.Pro are going to creep with all 3 out of the double doors. So this might be confusing because Higlane's not going to see anything in the tunnels. There's a pop flash for Higlane as well to get that tunnels control. And there's the pick from Snacks. So what on earth do VP do now? They're kind of sandwiched here.
Maybe not anymore.
There's no way they expect Higlane, though.
That's a really tight headshot. And there's time to plant the bomb.
His timing's pretty late, though.
MP9. We could catch Snatch completely off guard. Ding dong. Great burst with the MP9. That leaves Veggie alone now. Higlane will rotate to join his teammate for a 2-man push. Dexter could flash him in.
Love this rotation.
Higlane just picked up on Molotov as well, so he could clear out the area immediately below the window if he knows the big molly, which would force Veggie from his exact position. Oh, he's thrown it behind big box instead. That's what the HU's for. Veggie looks towards the right. Here's the footsteps by the door, and the kill will come in anyway.
Really smart reposition right there. That probably won them the round by Higlane. I mean, good flank by him and then good reposition.
Yeah, I guess when he hears the player by the door, he's expecting the other one by the tunnel, not the window.
And then Dexter was likely hopping the cross, so he knew that the planner was still on the right side of the site. I mean, you could tell they had pretty good communication right there. The only thing that was probably lacking is the backside molly.
Yeah. That's a really killer molly.
So we go VPR trying to scrape the last couple rounds, and they are really struggling here. It already feels like we're going to get a 3rd map out of this. Espada looking so good, and Railway, man, he's 17 for 6. He's really doing a good job with Dexter, also 17 for 6. Damn.
Yeah, Snatchy's pretty consistent as well on the T side. Mihu's finally turned up, got himself 2 kills, but 13 deaths. Still more work to be done. At this point, Virtus.Pro just trying to give themselves a fighting chance in the second half. 5 is the best we can hope for, or they can hope for, rather. We not particularly hoping for anything but a good game.
A lot of info. They just dropped the bomb on Cat.
Yeah.
Railway definitely heard that.
Did you ever drop a rifle to fake a bomb drop?
Yeah, all the time.
Because it's exactly the same sound, just for people at home. I get triggered when somebody drops a bomb next to a bomb site.
Yeah.
In my games. One of the many reasons I get triggered these days. Virtus.Pro trying to push the B bomb site. Norbert holding things down. Great effort. Got support from Railway as well. And then there were 2 VP players. PHR with a UMP. Not ideal. More armor penetration than the MP9, but slower move rate, if I'm not mistaken. He'll get taken down with ease by Norbert. His 3rd in the round. 11 for Espada.
One thing, so that's the first round where we saw VP go for the smokes towards A, and it's like the first phase of smokes where you can set up the A set piece delayed, where you throw those smokes and then you bait out utility from the site, then you throw the actual execute in there, or you go for the B split, and you're keeping players on A out of CT spawn with those smokes. Didn't work out for VP at all, unfortunately.
It looks like VP, when they went over this map, they went over like a bunch of executes, and they didn't think about, you know, the pathway to get to those executes.
Right.
Like they're struggling to get to the executes with all their players.
2 or 3 players spotted by Poria, pushing or flowing out of, spilling out of the long doors.
Oh no.
That's an impressive fail there, but no harm done.
So this is an interesting spot because VP, they took long, but they've got 3 nades left. 2 smokes, so presumably for the cross. Their post plant will be very hard if they can get to a post plant.
They could use 1 to smoke CT spawn.
4 A players.
Let's see. Looks like they'll probably do it the normal way. There are the 2 smokes. Smoke on the site maybe to create some space. Railway, he's doing colossal damage. Snacks in the red. No HEs on mollies at this point. Railway being careful, dancing. Snacks finally finished off. 2 versus 3. There's plenty of time here for Virtus.Pro. No bomb plant pressure just yet. They need to take out more of these players, and they will. Railway taken out up close. The bad plant is in. And there's a rotation towards long. Norbert winning a very important frag, falling back, waiting for high lane to come around.
Higlane has got some good timing here as he moves across, and the spot there, it's not going to work out. Norbert makes his appearance. He's been pretty lethal in this game, and he was left as the sole player on B once again. He'll get the defuse, and that will be the 12-3. Espada with a stunning first half of Dust 2 against Virtus.Pro. Will we see any signs of life from Virtus.Pro? We'll find out after the break.
And it's time for the second half. Virtus.Pro are in the poverty buckets. 3 rounds on the board. They have a lot to do here on the CT side, and it's not going to be easy. We've got maybe a flash coming towards that long position, but there's a counter flash from Virtus.Pro, a swing and a hit from Mihu. Great support from Snatchy. Another exchange of flashbangs, and long will be taken. But in the meantime, that's half the team out of position because the bomb's heading towards the B bomb site. I say heading, but maybe it'll end up there with no T players around it, just managing to escape the situation. But they've only got one frag here, Espada, so there's something to be done. We can see Dexter fishing with the P250. That bonus range is good. But in the meantime, Virtus.Pro have taken aggressive positions. Mihu with an off angle, a one tap. Dexter looks behind him. Maybe some confusion. I don't know what's going on with his headphones, but
Silent
it will be the
assassin.
pistol round for Virtus.Pro.
Silencer, man.
That was a really cool setup at long, though. Pop flash peek. 2 people swing out.
Lovely stuff. So this is a clean pistol, but is Virtus.Pro's following round going to be as good? We saw some shenanigans on the first half. Virtus.Pro with the full Glock save, getting the 4K with the Glock on, I think it was Snatchy or Snacks, one of the two. Here we go. Long take comes in from Espada, and the MP9s have been set to the task. And it looks like it's going to be not without some losses, but ultimately a quick round. And into the AKs or the Kriegs we go. So I'm really curious what rounds Espada have on their Dust 2. Because again, let's not forget they've got Norbert who is standing in. He's been doing a good job though.
Yeah. They don't have long spawn, so it'll be really interesting to see how they take, default control of the map compared to VP. I would imagine they have a lot better protocols, which is why they picked the map. But who knows, with Norbert that could be a little bit weird. Missed their Xbox move.
It's a bad miss.
Oh, he's gonna do that B door smoke. The Astralis one. Railway smoking B doors from Cat.
Okay, well, they've got that initial frag. Indeed, the door has been smoked. Snacks forces his way through, though, but can't land much of anything with the MP9.
Oh dear.
And they have lost position versus Pro. Snatchy's stuck in CT spawn. Veggie not too far behind him. Espada march on.
I've got to say, the missing an Xbox smoke is that's a rough one to miss. It's
almost
very
criminal.
It's extremely forgiving.
Yes.
It happens
extremely
way
forgiving.
too often. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Who can we blame? There has to be someone we can blame.
Mormons. Blame the Mormons.
Hey, they're good people, man.
They're really good at basketball.
What?
Hey, you don't know this?
No,
don't
this
know
is
about
definitely
this?
not true.
It is definitely true. You can go on
This is
YouTube, my friend.
100% not true.
For some reason, they really like basketball, and they play a lot of basketball. And what they do sometimes is they go to into the city, and they'll find basketball courts and challenge people to games of basketball, and they'll be like, and obviously they're Mormons, so you're probably thinking, what do you mean? We're gonna crush you, and they're like, all right, hear us out. If we beat you, you have to listen to.
You have to become a Mormon.
You have to listen to like a sermon or whatever.
This reminds me of that Prince Dave Chappelle skit. This is just absurd.
I'll show you the YouTube video, Sean.
Of them playing basketball.
Owning, crushing fools in basketball. Yeah. Okay. So the Kriegs are out in full force. We've got 1 Mag 10 for Railway.
Why are you watching videos of Mormons playing basketball?
What
in
is
the
I know,
first place?
someone showed it to me. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Was it a Mormon?
Ooh, Molly backplat. It's the same strat.
All the flashbangs avoided by PHR, but just the 1 kill. They were
missed the
so
smoke.
lined up in that smoke, just hoping for a spray, which never came. And Virtus.Pro are donezo for this round, I do believe. Exit frags, trying to steal a weapon has to be the strategy now.
Yeah, I wonder if if he has a silencer there, if he feels more confident to just pop a few bullets through the smoke. Hard to say, I suppose.
Worth a fish.
Because now you have the extra bullets, it does feel more like that's something that you can do.
That's the only thing the MP5 is good for. Versus the MP7, because they take the same slot. The MP7 is better
Yeah, sure.
statistically.
MP5 or MP7.
Dude, MP7.
There we go.
Kidding me?
Okay, cool.
Get out of here with your nostalgia.
It's just better. I have the MP5 equipped, but only because I have the Danger Zone skin, and I'm named the King of Danger Zone, so if I get it in the, I want to get it when I play Danger Zone. So that's literally the only reason. But I wasn't really buying the MP7 anyway much.
How much is the Danger Zone skin?
I don't know, but the thing is, everybody gets it.
Yeah.
So it has no value.
Okay.
But I got like mine's factory new and pretty nice. One with the rats on it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any good souvenir skins?
I do. I have a souvenir MP9 hot rod with. I got a fur MP9. I had to get a fur MP9. Cost me 50 quid.
He's quite good with that weapon.
Yeah.
Like an Liege Krieg.
I had a souvenir AWP Ashron with MSL stickers on, but I scratched the stickers off.
Dude, this game's over.
Yeah, it's not looking good, is it? For
not looking
Pro?
good for VP.
Maybe you can't find
15-5.
a shot. Maybe Veggie can, though. But this is a very expected position with the Deagle. He might get a quick pop. The flashbang goes out for Veggie. He gets himself one at least. Snatchy will have to spray through the smoke with the P250 as well, but doesn't really look like VP have much going for them here. It's a nice kill on the flank, but Bomb should be going down in this position, although Norbit's actually carrying it. He's got to be careful because he's losing a battle against the USP.
This is how games are lost.
Yes. And the flank comes in from Stags.
Oh no.
Is this the... Okay, Dex is on it. Alright, well, 15-5. Espada one away from... VP were never here.
I have a
They were
souvenir.
never here, man.
Black laminate AK with device sticker on.
That is sick.
Yeah.
From the last major?
Yeah.
I tried to get that.
I tweeted. I was like, yeah. The thing is, you got good odds because
What's the other one that's in the same category?
there's only in that souvenir thing.
Like
There's only like 5 skins.
There's like P90 Glacier, right?
Some other crap.
I got that one. It's the same rarity as the black laminate.
Oh really?
This device. I'm just like,
BGs, man.
of course.
I tweeted and I was like, oh look at this, and he replied and it's like, yeah, but this is cool and all, but you were talking to Edward Snowden.
What
That's
if
more cool.
That is pretty cool. What if I make like a YouTube video describing why the P90 needs to be in meta, so that way the price of my gun goes up, and then I sell it and get a black laminate.
Do it.
Yeah. And then never use a P90.
Well, quick smokes across to the bomb site. It's not looking too bad for VP in this position, but Sachi's going to finish it off. Or maybe not. Dexter still with a chance. Over a minute to go as well. It's got an AWP. This is how you do it on Dust 2. AWP is so sick in spots like this. Long ranges. Krieg's pretty good too.
Sound cues have been heard. The rotation is in.
This is one I like that smoke.
Hmm?
I like that smoke he threw. He gives himself a lot of freedom right now to move around.
Yeah, and plant the bomb in a more open position. Oh dear, that Krieg continues to delete. Looks to his right, shot from the left. There's a chance yet for Virtus.Pro, but it's a small one. They have to win a lot of rounds in a row. 10 in fact, this will be the first one.
He's a man that likes to plant on the X. Gotta respect that.
Alrighty then.
Many match points. Or game points, sorry.
Could have been match points. The way the previous game was going.
Yeah. Oh my god, could you imagine that?
This is such a difficult comeback for VP to make. CT Dust 2, backs against the wall. Opposing team has 3 buys in them in a row before you break their economy. They're capable of hitting the Xbox smoke all of a sudden.
That really tips it over the edge.
Yeah.
Pop flash. Boom. Mihi's got a good angle. He's got that warning from the shape of the wall. It's a hard peek, and Virtus.Pro trying to make a comeback, but there's damage to be done at least here for Espada. They had a lot of money. They no longer have a lot of money, and their round loss bonus is in the bin as well. So there could be some short-term success here for Virtus.Pro at the very least.
Look, I'm gonna say it. I don't like that crack right there in CT spawn. I think it's poor map design. How do you guys feel about it?
Do you think it's different for the sake of being different? Like the lack of curved wall on short.
I just
And
don't
then they
think
put the window in so you
I
can
don't
still...
think they even thought about it. Like that little crack where the CTs always see feet before.
Yeah.
I don't even think whoever made this map thought about it. But that plays such a big factor in like how Ts and CTs engage in that fight.
Considering how rough it tends to be at the moment for CTs, I don't mind it. I actually like it. I like it on the CT side. You can use utility to try and deal with it. So I don't mind it myself. When I'm in CT, I like having it there, so I'm a fan. 7 rounds versus Pro. Do we...
When do we become believers?
Yeah, that's a question. I think it's still early to take it to come back seriously.
Yeah.
Purely because, I guess based on what we've seen from both maps so far, thus far. That's a great phrase. Thus far. I like old English. Yeah, I think if we get to 10, then we can be like, hold on a second. 8 at least is likely, not guaranteed, but likely, with the Butcher buy, the Deagles, the meat shots being looked for by Espada, making very fast inroads towards short. Oh dear, Snatchy's in trouble. He needs to rotate quickly. The Sandcues would have been hurt by his teammate.
Ooh.
That's a nice HE, but they need to follow up.
Yep, that's one way to do it. And they're dead. They're all dead. Nice. They've actually got 2 kills, Espada, somehow.
Actually, with the Swift Ace, he's 26 and 15, and they're losing 15-8. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he is a very strong player for Virtus.Pro and in general most of the time. But again, against weaker opposition, you're going to get weaker, less experience. You're going to get more opportunities to get more frags.
Did you guys see that Higgling got 2 D, I think 1 Deags with the while Snatchy was killing his teammates?
Yeah.
When they were running, that was really odd.
She's like, I'm gonna ignore you.
Snatchy's going deep. This is a very annoying angle to deal with. It's a good way to punish the Ts that throw the Xbox smoke immediately. Gives you that freedom to go for those deeper peaks. That's a very nice angle, but maybe Railway's got this. Snatchy's really close to the position, but Railway's timing is off, and Veggie has to turn around there. A little bit too late. Snatchy with a response. Is there anything else to be done, though? Yes, Warrior with that Krieg will take him down, but there's still too many players towards that A bomb site, and the bomb's going to have to make its way towards B. Dexter's created some space, but very fast push, an unexpected push from Sax.
Yeah, you can see Dexter just wasn't ready for that, it felt like. He's probably communicating to his teammate or something like that in that moment.
Yeah, with all the action on A, maybe not expecting a CT to be so close to B. Higlen not able to rotate in time.
Oh, but look at Mihu. He's come off the A bomb site completely here, so he'll have no warning of this whatsoever. And as far as I know, Higling could have been creeping out of mid towards B.
If they misuse this smoke and smoke Catwalk off, he has a molly for the bomb and 2 flashes.
Yeah, I guess
This could easily go in his favor.
VP playing it safe, going for retake on A. And it is time to retake. Sound cues for Higlen. He doesn't want to go on the low ground, that's for sure.
I think in him hearing that running, that gives him a lot to work with.
He's out a little bit too early.
Another Molotov. He doesn't have the HP to go through this. And that defuse is going to land just in time. That second molly was the MVP, and there was a third one if needed. Maybe Mihi picked it up after the frag, but they're 1 round away from 10 now. I said if they make it to 10, we'll have to take them seriously for a potential comeback here. They're not far away from that. There hasn't been much success for Espada. They have been planting the bomb of late. They've won 3 rounds and they've planted the bomb twice outside of that.
It's squeezed out an AK in this round.
Interesting.
Yeah, are they going to go for a cap rush? Well, Mihu might blow that up because he's gone for an aggressive play lower dark.
Yeah, he knows they can't afford an AWP, so he's playing really aggressive towards lower tunnels.
Does it work out, though? Because those rifles will be picked up, which actually helps the T side.
Yeah.
Snack's going aggressive. Got to be really careful he doesn't go down in that position. And there's 2 players on B. But it's really hard for a spotter to know that. But they can just take cap, hold their ground, reset the position, the situation. And you can see this is the spot you were talking about before, Sean. The 4v4, you get the site player on A somewhat isolated from the long player.
See, I would just throw like a rail smoke, chain flashes, and run off cat right now. It's like a free plan.
I haven't got smokes. You spoke about the strat. Here it is. Oh, the missed shot from Snatchy. A rare miss, and that might be the end of the line here for Virtus.Pro.
Wow.
So much position for Espada now. Espada, sorry.
That was a good timing from the way they pushed that. The player dropping down and his timing hitting the AWPer. This is actually kind of impressive from Espada. The railway goes down, though. Maybe there's a chance here for recovery. Good shots there from Norbert. Oh, he's doing a great job here, finding every single head. 4K for Norbert, 29 for 13. Damn, 16
That's what
to
you
9.
want out of your stand-in.
Yeah, that's that's pretty awesome. Espada with a really strong Dust 2 performance, but I don't know. It felt like BP, as you say, Sean, the T-side game plan was half-baked.
Yeah, it was. I think their CT side looked good. I think their T side had certain layers to it. It's just the basic fundamentals seemed like they were missing to set up rounds. You know, like the close mid Molotov, the Xbox smokes to take catwalk control. We didn't really see anything like that. BP looked rushed throughout the entire half. It looked like they wanted to end the rounds quickly. And that's not really in meta, I guess, when you watch Dust 2 played a lot right now.
Yeah, that's a shocker. Virtus.Pro don't seem to be awake right now. Running out of chances to wake up as we will be heading to Nuke after this massacre of a Dust 2 from Espada. Again, the stand-in Norbert putting in work around the map. So, yeah, it's been very disappointing from what we've seen from Virtus.Pro so far. Again, in the journey they've had in the last year or so, playing Mirage time and time again and so on, and finally growing to a very nice point on that map, and then now being in this situation in this best of 3, it's not what we expect from them at this point, and it's a solid one from Espada. Again, this could have been a 2-0, but it is a 1-1 for the time being, and those highlights were brought to you by NVIDIA. Norbert, almost 3,000 damage in normal time. That is always a very good indicator with so many rounds to come as well. That's a huge performance from him, a huge performance. But there is more to come, as mentioned. These are the stats for Dust 2, but that's all history now, and the future is Nuke between Virtus.Pro and Espada. That is after the break. We will see who's going to take it in a few minutes.